Hey guys, what's going on? Sadiq. Welcome to Experiences with Sadiq. Season 2. Experiences with Sadiq is about all things real estate. A show where communication is key, advocating for the people is bliss, and knowledge, it's inspiring. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the show. And oh yeah, don't forget to follow me on all my social media platforms. Whether you're buying or selling a home, I'm that guy. Let's go! So today I have an individual here with me today who is actually an investor. He tends to invest a lot of properties locally, especially in Providence, Rhode Island. I've been trying to interview this guy for a minute. He's hard to get a hold of. Sometimes he doesn't like responding to my texts. He takes days, he takes weeks, but I get it. The guy's a busy individual. His schedule's crazy, but guess what? I have the opportunity to interview the man himself today. He's gonna introduce himself, and we're gonna get the show popping just for y'all. What's going on, my man?
I'm here, I'm Tara. Like you said, I'm always on the move, always making moves. People trying to get a hold of me, I'm trying to get a hold of people. So it's like, I'm glad we finally linked up.
No, I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. If you guys don't, if you're in the real estate game, you might know who Terrell is. On social media, he goes by Mr. Deep.Pockets. Terrell, how did you come up with that name and why Mr. Deep.Pockets? Where that came from?
It was just something that I came up with, to be honest with you. I just wanted something that was a little bit catchy, a little bit kind of caught your attention. But the reality of that name, to be honest with you, Mr. Deep.Pockets, is a lot of times when you're investing money, your pockets are actually not deep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's money always going out. You know what I'm saying? Your money's always at work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like your money's out there, so your pockets ain't deep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're actually shallow. You know what I'm saying? Your pockets are shallow.
It's crazy.
But you got equity though. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's not in your bank account. Well, I mean, sometimes your bank account does fill up. Don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes your bank account is looking real smooth. You know, but for the most part, when it is, it's like the first thought for me as an investor is like, yo, what do I do with this? This has to go to work. I cannot have this money sitting idly. You know what I'm saying? Because it's my money, the way I look at it, my money can work 2, 3, 4 times as hard as I can work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's always got to be on the job.
No, that's facts. So Terrell and I we went to high school together. So when I wanted to interview Terrell, when I wanted to interview T, right? We sat down and we're just chopping it, kicking it, and he was like, Sadiq, we went to school together. I'm like, we did?
Yeah.
He was like, yeah.
Yeah. You were like, yo, you from here? I'm like, bro. I'm like, are you serious right now? I'm like, dude, we went to, what are you talking about?
But the dude has a full facial beard. He has dreads. Come on, like people's characteristics or their facial image change over the course of time. Obviously, my facial image never gonna change. You're gonna know me for the man with the scars on my face. I'm Nigerian born, Nigerian bred. So it's like, I have this distinct look. Some people don't, and I totally forgot Terrell, you know? But it's dope to actually, sit down with you and realize that you're a brother from the community, you know?
Absolutely.
You grew up in Providence.
Grew up in Providence.
I grew up in Providence.
Yeah.
What made you decide to get into real estate? Especially on the development side.
So a few things, right? So I had this job, I had a really good job actually. And I was making good money, and I always knew that I didn't want to work forever. I didn't want to work until 60 something, 70, whatever the hell the retirement age is. I didn't want to do that. Right. So I figured, hey, I want to get something going where I can establish some passive income, right? So I started buying rental properties.
All right.
Just to have a little bit of supplemental income. And once I bought my first property, I remember my first time picking up the rent, I was like, and I picked up the rent in cash, right? I don't do that anymore, but first property, picked up the rent in cash. And I remember thinking to myself, like, damn, I didn't see these people all month. like these people are paying me. I thought it felt to me like, wow, I'm stealing this money. I'm like, yo, these people haven't seen me. I haven't seen them. They're paying me. Why are they paying? So it was like an epiphany for me, you know. And obviously that's just the way it is. You know what I'm saying? You own real estate, you own property. People just pay you for it. You know. So it was, to me, it was like, yo. I started doing the math, and I'm like, damn. If I had 2 of these, damn. If I multiply this, I was like, yo, this could be something. You know what I'm saying? But initially, I didn't really think it could be like a career. You know, it was just something to kind of have like a side hustle.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? And then eventually it was like, yo, this is real money. You know what I'm saying? And I just started growing and growing. And then pretty much all the properties we bought were rehabs. I kind of got into that early in the game. You know what I'm saying? I pretty much started with that, which not everybody does, but you know, I just started rehabbing and adding value, and then just buying more and more property.
I've seen a lot of your properties on social media, and I think I believe you do a great job. You know, when it comes to a lot of rehabs, some people just want to put lipstick on it. I guess you want to just touch it up, sell it, move on. A lot of the properties that you do, I've noticed that you put a lot of effort into it and making sure that you provide good quality for the next person who's going to purchase the property. For those who's watching, right? You got into this game early on. I guess people's gonna want to understand, how did you really get started? Where did you get the funds from? You know, and then how did you take that and just allow yourself to continuously to grow for those who's looking to tap into the game?
Okay, yeah. So a couple of things there. There's like 2 different things there. In terms of the way you see that a property looks, right? So that's one thing. I'll get into that. I'll touch on that real quick. So as an entrepreneur or in business, it's important for people to recognize their strengths and weaknesses, right? So my strengths are not necessarily the specifics of the way the property is going to look. I know that, okay, I want this thing to look nice, but in terms of seeing how this color goes with that and this that's not really my strong suit. You know what I'm saying? My strong suit is having the vision to be able to see something where there's potential. Like, for example, right now, like I know that this could be nice. I don't know exactly what cabinets and all that. That's not me. But I know what I know how to do is I know how to invest the money.
You're a visionary.
I'm a visionary. I know that this could be something, and I know how to get this. You know what I'm saying? And I have the skills and the whatever, the passion or whatever it is to actually secure the building. You know, now once I get the building, then I have to assemble a team. You know, I have to assemble a team of not permanent players on a team, but like sort of outsourcing people. You know, you got to get an architect. You got to get somebody who does design. You got to get somebody who's good at managing. So I do, again, my hands are in all of that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not micromanaging that. I'm macro managing. You know, I'm managing the whole thing.
You're the conductor.
I'm the conductor. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, and my hands aren't in every single thing. You know what I'm saying? And that's important in any business, because really, like, if you think about like a Steve Jobs, he can't make every iPhone. He just has to say, you know what? Can we make an iPhone? Can we make something that does this and that? He may not have even came up with the term iPhone. He has to assemble a team of engineers, managers, artists, you know, all creators, all different people. But he has the vision. He can raise the money. You know, he can, even in terms of opening up a factory, he's probably not as involved in that process as you think. You know what I'm saying? He delegates, you know, and that's kind of what I do, you know. Or really any great entrepreneur has to have the ability to see what their value is in the organization. So you're part of a team. You know what I'm saying?
Sorry about that.
Yeah, you know it.
It's unique, right, in a way, when real developers in real estate, they really have a unique attribute when it comes to rehabbing the property, learning how to buy the property at the right price. So, because at the end of the day, it also has to be a profitable situation for you as a developer at the end of the day. And just being able to understand the tenacity of that whole scope, you know, sitting down, looking at numbers, projections, is this possible before you even purchase the property, is a skill set. that most people don't understand.
It is.
Before we even dive into the actual area that we're in, all right, because this facility that we're in right now is T's next major project that's going on to market really soon. And I just want to get a little deeper in terms of, for those who wants to tap into the game, what are the best financial options that are out there for those who wants to get their leg in the game and start their project also? I guess that was the second part.
Okay, yeah. So I would say, if you want to get into the game, right, first you have to trust in yourself and believe in yourself. Before you can get anybody else to believe in you, you have to believe in you.
That's dope.
You know what I'm saying? So, and not the way, but one of the ways that you can show to others that you believe in you and you believe in your goal is you can say, all right, I want to do this thing. I want to do this real estate thing, whatever it is. I know real estate requires money. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I just know whatever. That's one thing for sure. You need money to do real estate. Yeah. You don't necessarily know how much you need, but it ain't no $100. Yeah. So you can't be like, oh yeah. So what you got to do is you got to say, listen, take yourself seriously, take your future seriously, take your goals seriously, and pretty much put your money where your mouth is. You know what I'm saying? Put some money together. Whether you gather up some friends or you go to work, you put your money to the side. Listen, people always talk about, oh, I don't have enough money to save. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Look at look at your lifestyle habits. You know what I'm saying? Are you eating out? Look, and again, it's not for me to tell anybody else how to live their life, but if you want to prioritize your future, then step one, put some cash together. That way, when you want to move forward with something, you see an opportunity, and you want to present your opportunity to somebody, you say, hey, look, I got this thing, I want to buy this thing. This is what I've done already. I've been preparing for this moment. You know what I'm saying? And here is physical proof that I've been preparing for this moment. I have this sum of cash that I've saved up. You know what I'm saying? For when this very moment presented itself to me. You know what I'm saying? So that's one way. I'm not saying there's a million different ways. Of course. Obviously you can educate yourself. Yeah. You can get out there and network with people. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of different ways, but a very important way, like I said, we're talking about real estate. Mm-hmm. Real estate, this is a high stakes game. This is money. This is big money involved here. So, I would just have some money put together. Yeah. Don't just show up. Don't just try to show up to the game with $100 in your pocket and expect anybody to take you seriously. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Have something that you're bringing to the table. You know what I'm saying? And money's a big.
It's a big factor.
It's a big factor.
No, I totally get it. Whether they looking to dump money into buying a property or wholesale, whatever the case may be. Yep. Money's going to go into the marketing aspect of it.
Correct.
Money's going to go into somebody's pocket because there are people that needs to get paid at the end of the day, whether they're contractors or whatever the case may be. No matter what, you need some type of funds to be able to get yourself moving, get yourself going.
Of course. And I apologize. Go ahead. I wanted to add one more thing to that. Money supply is, you can look at money as, money's intangible, right? So money nowadays, there's trillions of dollars in the economy. Money, you can look at money is almost unlimited. So this money that's out there, the money is looking for places to go, right? It's trillions of dollars that doesn't know where to go. You know what I'm saying? If you can present an opportunity for that money, the money will go to you. You know what I'm saying? But the same thing, I'm tying what I was saying together. In order for that money to come to you, you have to meet that money and say, hey, listen, I have a little bit of my own. I understand you got trillions and you don't know what to do with your trillions. You would like to give me some of that, but you're not just gonna take all the risk. You know what I'm saying? So by me bringing a couple of my own dollars to the table, I'm showing you that, hey, I'm willing to take on some of the risk and I'm willing to bet on myself. You know what I'm saying? But as far as money, money's out there. Money's unlimited. There's no such thing. There's no limit to money.
Yeah, it's crazy. It goes back to what you're saying. Put your money where your mouth is. Put your money where your mouth is.
Yep.
Because at the end of the day, you do want to bring something to the table, just so you can show a part that, listen, I want to be involved in this. I want to be a part of this. I want some type of financial wealth or whatever the case may be. I want that. And like a lot of people don't really understand that. They think real estate is an easy peasy job. There's so many different intricacies that goes in the game of real estate that people don't see. They see the beginning part where when somebody purchases a property to the end part, but all that other middle factor, all that middle shenanigan that goes on, people don't see that.
They don't.
And for some people like T, it's the fun part. Right, we're actually talking about this before we even start. T loves that middle part because, like, even though it's stressful, but that's like the best piece of it all. Correct?
That's how you know. That's your barrier to entry. So anything that's worth it in life, like you think about professional athletes, right? It takes it's a high barrier to entry to become a professional athlete. Yeah. You gotta be the best of the best of the best. You know what I'm saying? You gotta wake up in the morning. You gotta bust your ass. You gotta dedicate a ton of hours and a lot of your life to that in order to get into athletics. Yeah. Same thing with real estate. It's a very high barrier to entry, which means not everybody's gonna do it. A lot of people are gonna quit, you know, because everything goes wrong. Literally, I can't even say some things. Everything goes wrong at every step of the way. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter how many times you did it. Just go, whether it's people not showing up, whether it's your inspector comes and fails your project, whether you call the electric company, they tell you some shit, you did this whole thing wrong, you gotta redo it. I did a video this morning, I did a post on Instagram, how to evict a guy. You know, how to evict a guy. What? So I show, I never got to this process of, I've evicted people before, but I had some things that happened where I had to evict this dude, and the court has you pay a constable to go over there and like, okay, is the dude gone? Yeah, okay, he's gone. And then they're like, okay, well, the court appoints like a moving company for you to pay the moving company to come and get the person's stuff out of the apartment.
Gems and that I did not know. He's doing. I did not know this, but he's schooling us.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, I learned some things in this process that I wasn't prepared for. So
this is crazy. I didn't know this.
So what happens is, right? So the court appoints constable. You got to pay him $300, right? So you got to pay him $300.
Money once again has to go into different pockets.
If you're evicting somebody, you are losing on the rent that they owe you. Yeah. This guy might have owed us, I think, $5,000-$6,000, right? Yeah. So that's gone. Yeah. You know, now I got to pay the lawyer. That's like $600. Yeah. You know, now I got to pay this constable to go over there. That's $300 for him. You know, then the court makes you use whatever moving company they choose, you know, so you got to pay them. I don't know, what was that, like $300-$400? I don't even know. $1,000. I didn't even know that.
$1,000 deposit, and then whatever the total bill is, they'll charge it today.
Holy! I didn't even know that shit.
That's the best in the background.
$1,000. Yo, I thought that shit. So okay, so check this out. So the tab is still, I'm still adding right now. I'm not even. I didn't even know the 1,000 was a part of the equation. I'm adding shit up to you, and I'm just now finding out about this 1,000. So check this out, right? So now you pay this moving company $1,000. Again, I've never been through this process where I had to do all this. So moving company comes over there, they're like, oh, we ain't taking this. I'm like, what do you mean you're not taking? I'm paying you to take this. oh, we can't take this. I'm like, all right, well, me and my kids supposed to come over to this guy's apartment? So whatever. So now they go over there, they take what they want. Then I gotta pay for them to store this shit now. So now I gotta pay what, 2 months? I gotta pay 1 month for storage. So I got for this guy's shit to be in storage, I gotta pay 1 month, right? So they come, they leave couches, they leave fucking beds, they leave all this shit. So now I gotta pay another guy now. I haven't gotten his bill. Like I just saw this dude this morning. So I know his bill's gonna be an easy $500. So I had to pay this other guy $500, right? To get all the shit out of there. And now, apartment's empty. Now I got an empty apartment now. Yeah. So $5,000, the tenant owed me, let's just round it off. It's like $5,000. $300 for the constable, that's $5,300. $1,000 for the mover, $6,300. Let's say $500 for the guy, $6,800. So we're at $6,800, right? Yeah. Now I gotta go in there, paint his whole apartment. I gotta redo his floors. I gotta redo his bath. That's gonna be like a good 2 G's. You know, so what is it? 6,800 plus two?
About
$8,800 on a
Yeah,
just say 10.
round it up.
You can round it up to 10. So yeah, that's 10 G's on a.
Like, I've never interviewed other people who actually broke that part down and shared that type of information. That's your information, your personal information. They just gave it out, and I think people will appreciate that more than anything. But T just purchased this building. We're gonna really go in depth into in regards to the type of financing that went through, how he got the building, and the future, the outlook that he has, or the vision, should I say, for this facility. So if you don't mind, where we at right now, T?
So we're on Broadway in Providence. We're like a stone's throw away from downtown Providence. This is prime real estate, to be honest with you. We're at the entryway to Broadway, which is a historical street in Providence, historical area. So this building right here, we bought the building and we financed it through a hard money lender, which is a lender hard money lender, the term hard money, maybe people know, they don't know. The term comes from the fact that the lender lends on a hard asset, which is real estate. Because we're in a building, you can stomp on the ground, you can touch it, it's a hard asset. So the hard money lender lends on a building, lends on an asset, and depending on who you have financing, it's very common to do interest-only payments, or you can finance the payments in. It all depends. So the way I financed this was I financed the building, and I have interest-only payments until the loan is paid off in full. Right?
So you're only paying the interest only, you're not
interest
paying the
only,
principal.
Correct. So that's good and that's bad. So the advantage is your payment is lower, right? So you don't have to pay, you don't have to incorporate the principal or any principal paid out into your payment. However, the downside of that is after, let's say you had the building for a year. Let's say you had the note, the mortgage for a year. So you've been paying for a year, let's say you're paying, I'm just gonna make up a number. Let's say you're paying $2,000 a month, right? So you're paying $2,000 a month, interest only. So after 12 months, you've paid $24,000 in interest only, and you still have the full amount due to pay off. So now, that sounds bad, but the reason why you'd use a hard money lender is because generally your intention is to increase the value of the asset that you're purchasing. So let's say you bought something, I'm gonna just use a round number. Let's say you bought something, you borrowed $1 million, right? Hopefully, by the time it's time to pay off the original guy or the original lender, hopefully the asset you bought for $1 million could be worth 1.5 million, 2 million. So now you can give the lender back their $1 million and you put $1 million in your pocket. You know, obviously, taxes, commission. There's a lot of different things. There's a lot of different things that reduce that $1 million or whatever your profit, your gross profit, but you walk away with a gross profit of whatever it is. So those are the reasons you'd use a hard money lender. And you know, the same thing holds true for if you're buying an asset for $100,000, you know, and you go to sell it for 200. Hopefully, you know, you make some profit, you pay off the lender the original 100, and then, you know, same exact thing.
Scenario.
Same scenario, bigger numbers.
It's crazy. So with this particular building, you're doing that with this building where you're only paying the interest only.
Correct.
You're financing this building for what? Hopefully.
Yes.
About a year, right?
So I'm financing the building for 18 months.
All right.
So I'm financing for 18 months. And then I'm financing, so basically I have construction financing lined up, but I'm probably gonna use, because because of the way the market is, you know, a lot of investors are sitting on some cash. So good or bad or whatever, I'm sitting on some cash. So I'm gonna just put my money out there into the building first, and then once I've gotten to a certain point, then I'll bring the construction loan in. But I'm gonna spend, you know, a few $100,000 on my own first, and then I'll bring the lender in to basically finish up the construction.
Amazing. So this building right here, obviously it's raw, totally gutted. You still see the brick the brick stones, I guess you want to call it. You have this back area as well.
Yep.
What does the future of this building or the vision of this building look like for T?
Okay, so you have different things, right? So you have a vision, what you would like to do, and then there's what you have permission to do. So, and those two things may not be the same thing, you know? So my vision is to take this and build 6 condo units, 6 residential condo units, and 1 commercial unit, right? So that's what the plan is, right? We're doing up plans, architectural plans to have that done. And once we have those done, we'll submit those to the city. We're zoned for that to happen, right? So the zoning allows for that, right? But then, you know, sometimes these little technicalities in the law, in the ordinances and stuff like that. So we have to, once we get the plans, we have to submit them and work it through the process, you know, and once you start going through the process, sometimes different things get uncovered. Sometimes, you know, you may have to tweak or change your plans. So we're basically at step 1, you know, and that's what we were talking about before, where, you know, people see, they see the end of a project and they're like, wow, great job. But really, there's so many different things
there's so many different layers that's involved
in
the project that people really don't see.
There are, and there's so many different things to go wrong. There's just so many different things that you just don't anticipate. So you have to be almost, as an investor, you have to be like a blade of grass. You know what I'm saying? You have to, like grass can't be rigid. So when the wind blows, the grass just goes with the wind. You know what I'm saying? You almost have to have sort of a mentality like that. You know, you can't be too rigid or inflexible because there's going to be changes that you need. You have to be sharp. You have to be able to make adjustments when needed.
Analogy.
Exactly. Nice. So even with your vision, you know what I'm saying? You may have a vision and you may have to modify your vision. Maybe for budgeting reasons, maybe your vision doesn't make sense. I'm gonna tell you something crazy.
Talk to us.
I'm gonna tell you something that people were like, what the fuck are you talking about? When I first got this building, I was like, my mind, I just like to think of things, right? So I was like, yo, what about we throw a pool on the roof? And you know, I mentioned it to a few people, they're like, what the f***? You out of your f***ing mind? So I'm like, yo, I think that'll be dope. I don't know that there's any buildings around here with pools on the roof.
Fact.
I'm like, that'd be nice. So I brought an architect over here, and his eyes almost popped out of his head when I said that. So I was like, if he was sitting down, he would have fell out of his chair. So he was like, he started going into all these reasons why. Basically, he's like, you could do whatever the fuck you want to do. He's like, but once you get done making this building structurally sound enough to do that, you're not going to make your money back. And that's something I had to scrap from the table. Now, that's something I thought would be a good idea, you know, and I kind of ran some numbers or whatever, but once you, again, this is what I mean about assembling a team to advise you. You know what I'm saying? So then, you know, so then I'm like, okay, that's off the table. And there's going to be other things that you know, that sort of thing is going to happen all throughout the process, whether it's a cabinet or you know, that was step 1. A pool, that shit sounds crazy to me. It sounds like, yo, that's nice.
Especially right here on Broadway too, where it's becoming very, very developed, very gentrified. I could definitely, that would be dope.
It'd be dope, but you know, dude's like, yo, you got a lot of shit to do in here if you want to put a pool on the roof to support, you know, tons and tons and tons of water on the roof.
It's crazy, unique, you know, because some people having a vision, you can have a big vision, right? But when you have that team that surrounds you, they actually can help bring your vision from a high point down to, I guess you want to say
reality. Exactly. Yes, indeed.
And that's sometimes that's why it's important to have a team that could advise you and like talk to you about, all right, why not do this, but let's do this. Let's cut back on cost, budget, whatever the case may be. And you could implement other ideas or other things in it to make it more appealing to whoever you're trying to bring in as either a buyer, a renter, or whatever the case may be. So this backside, what's the purpose of this back? So the lower level is basically where the unit's going to be at, or the commercial side?
So this is going to be one unit. This is going to be a residential unit in here.
All right.
Right.
All
And
right.
then the front side is going to be the commercial unit. And
Interesting.
again, who knows, coffee shop? I don't know. Yep. What we're going to do is we're just going to make it nice and pretty. Just a basic empty white box.
Yep.
You know, sheetrock it, paint it white. You know, do the floors, and just lease it out.
Yep.
You know, we'll just lease it out and just whoever wants to come in and do their thing, they can Usually with commercial spaces, usually the tenant does their own build out.
All right.
You know, so they kind of come in here and they
do the add their own touch
maybe
to
they
it.
need a kitchen or who knows.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Now we're just upstairs. Let's go. I want to check out upstairs again
Yeah.
because I want to understand that vision for the upstairs as well. We're just upstairs. We spoke a little bit. You gave some crazy value in terms of your own personal situation. Mind you, we gotta be careful. This is a really strict facility. The stairs are broken, so there's a lot of work that he's going to be putting into this project to make it to bring everything back to life. So once again, we're up here already. Yeah. There's also another raw area of the facility. Yeah. What's your goal with this part?
Well, let me catch my breath. I didn't go to the gym this morning to do all this cardio.
What's the vision for upstairs for this place?
So basically, we're gonna add 2 units in this space we're in right now, right? 2 one-bedroom residential units, right? But then in addition to that, we're building up a story.
Nice.
Right, so we're building 1 story up on top of this, and then behind us, we're building up 2 stories behind this wall.
Interesting.
So the whole building will be 3 stories tall. So currently, there's 2 stories in the front, 1 story in the back.
All right.
So we're adding square footage to the building.
Nice. And you did say they're going to be residential. The first floor is going to be commercial. Now you're going to hold this property because some investors tend to hold and some investors just tend to sell. What's your take on it?
Well, at this point, so things change, right?
Yeah.
Things change during the process. You know, you could reevaluate the market, you could reevaluate what you're doing. But currently, the plan is to sell 5 of the residential units as condos and keep 1 as a rental and keep 1 of the residentials as a condo and, as a rental, and keep the commercial as a rental. Nice. And then sell off the other units.
Interesting, that's really nice. You guys know what it is. It's your man Sadiq. I'm here with your man T. You know, the guy provides some amazing value today, and we had some funny moments as well. But T, if the people want to get a hold of you, they want to talk to you, they want more advice, you know, because it's hard to find real people, you know, especially like-minded individuals, individuals of the same skin tone, individuals that grew up in the city, you know, because there's people out here in the hood, I guess you want to say, or urban community that would love to try to dive into this. And you speak their language, you look like them, you know, and they want to hear from an individual that they can relate to. I guess that's what really comes down to.
Indeed.
How can they get a hold of you? How can they go about getting a hold of you so you can share your knowledge, continuous knowledge to them? Go ahead, talk to the people.
I mean, you can basically follow me on social media, Instagram, Mr. Deep.Pockets. So I'm Mr. Deep.Pockets on Instagram. You can just follow me. If you have a question, feel free to DM me. Shoot me a DM. Sometimes I do Q&A on there on my story. So if you follow my story, like sometimes I'll have like, you know, whatever's going on with my family, like little bullshit stuff. But then also, I do like occasionally I'll do Q&As where I'm like, all right, if anybody has a question, submit the question and I will reply to everybody. So the answers are on my story. And it's anything real estate related. And literally anything you can think of, you know, whether it's finance, whether it's, hey, what books do you recommend? Anything, any question you have, real estate related, business related, you can go on there, you can hit me up, you can follow my story and, watch out for the Q&A.
Nice. You guys know what it is. It's your man Sadiq, where communication is key, advocating for the people's bliss, and knowledge is inspiring. Until next time, catch me on all of my social media platform on Experiences with Sadiq, or you catch me straight on my personal page, Sadiq Davies. And don't forget, follow my team, the Davies Group. And once again, if you love what you see, what you hear today, subscribe. That's how we keep everything going. That's how we keep everything moving. Love, peace, and happiness. Keep it real. Hey.
Me too.